Pitch Rater application is a mobile app and an online live portal which allows us to collate player feedback on the surface after the game, and we can then use that data to proactively look at the feedback and the condition of the pitch.
The Scottish FA became involved in this project back in 2013. It became really obvious to us that we should get involved in the research behind what is, in essence, where the game is played. Ourselves and the guys at Sports Labs have a really strong relationship, and that's helped all the way through the work that we've done. It's been a development of the original piece of research that we did back in 2012-2013 with the guys at Sports Labs and also our partners at PFA Scotland. That very much focused in on player perception as far as 3G pitches were concerned. So we felt it was really important to broaden that out, to consider natural grass pitches, 3G pitches together, and what the professional players of today thought about those surfaces.
Currently, there are no safety or performance requirements on natural pitches as enforced by governing bodies. What we want to try and do is use our ProPitch app to enable groundsmen to collect, monitor and track real-time data on their field. Surface testing can give immediate results to the groundsman. An example of this is our Clegg hammer, which has been tested behind me. The Clegg hammer will determine whether the field is possibly too soft, which can be very tiring for the players, or too hard, which can be a risk to injury for the players. Another example of a test we can perform in the field is our spring-loaded traction test. This determines whether the surface is possibly too slippy or holds too much grip for the players. The data that we gain from our testing on the surface, we're trying to correlate directly with the questions from the Pitch Rater app.
So the Pitch Rater app works, a notification is sent to the player 48 hours after the game. The player fills in 12 questions, which takes 1 minute, and the player cannot rate his own home surface. But we as a company also have 20 years of testing data on natural, hybrid and synthetic pitches, so we can use that historical data to merge with the player feedback.
The development of the Pitch Rater app has seen us take the work that comes out of that forward and try to engage more closely with the groundsmen around Scottish football. These guys are often unheralded, and it's really, really important that we feed back the results of the Pitch Rater app to the groundsmen, who ultimately have the responsibility for producing the surfaces that the game's played on.
So I think the player feedback from that is invaluable to us going forward. I think being able to correlate that with information that you provide and information that the players are providing, we can obviously reach a better standard.
And this is a pilot study that's not been done before, where we use the player data and feedback and merge it with testing data. The Pitch Rater app pilot study has now reached its 3rd year of data collection. It's used to feed back to global governing bodies and improve testing specifications. It's now reached Europe, with global governing bodies adopting the same app.
So over the past year and a half, we've been doing a lot of research trying to better understand the actual interaction between player and surface. Specifically, we've been using insoles that have 13 pressure sensors in them. They also have a 3D accelerometer, so we're able to put them in athletes' boots, have them run over surfaces and collect real-time data. So obviously with the Pitch Rater app, we're asking athletes direct questions in terms of what they think about the surface. With the insoles, we're able to directly measure the interaction between the player's foot and the surface. So hopefully we can kind of marry up the data and get a full understanding and a better picture of what actually is going on with what they think of a surface versus what they're actually experiencing on the surface.
What we want to do is focus on player perception and combine that with surface testing data in order to have a proactive approach to pitch management.
We get some feedback from the players. It's usually from the coach. After a training session, they will say that the pitch is too firm, or we'd like it X, Y or Z or more water. So it's an ongoing process. So it's a process of building that data up over a period of weeks and months, and then you can look back to see how the pitch performed, what feedback you got from the players, and what can do better if anything needs to be done better.
The Pitch Rater app results can be used simply to rate the pitches, to improve the safety, to improve the performance, improve the surface, improve the game.